Hello, I'm Richard Hooper, and this is SatTV Week. Now, I'm pleased to be joined by Alvaro from Integrasys. Alvaro, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Now, we're in Singapore. We spoke many times before, but I'm really interested in what you think is happening in the market. There's a lot of disruptors. So what's your impression?
So my impression is that a lot of disruptors has come. One in particular, that is Elon Musk and their Starlink constellation first. They disrupted the launch service, and now they are disrupting this telco service or the satellite service and SatCom. So in that regard, we are seeing how video was sort of declining, but now video is super nice to have because it is not being disrupted, while the telco that it was the paradigm of everyone and they were looking at as a growth path has been completely disrupted, and now it's how do we innovate and how do we adapt to the new reality after Starlink, and more to come. For example, Amazon Kuiper or more likely Nava or the constellation. So it's about adapting very rapidly on new uncertainty, and many times by adopting this disruptor and cross-sale just to not lose the customer. So in that regard, we are seeing a lot of uptake on requirements of new needs that customers have.
Do you think the industry should be scared of this, or do opportunities exist as the market evolves?
So it depends if you sell insurance or not, but you need a little bit shake up from time to time. So I really think that this has been similar to the iPhone release. So Nokia didn't adapt, and Nokia should have been more scared than they were. And it depends. So there will be some Nokias, and there will be some people that will navigate well the disruption and continue to innovate. But what I see is that satellite companies in many ways have been elephants, and they need to run with like a gazelle. So in that regard, they need to adapt. Otherwise, they should be fear their business models because they are being disrupted, especially in the telecom world, in the SatCom world.
Now, going back a number of years, it was always about the big players with the satellite fleet.
Mm-hmm.
The emphasis has now shifted to the ground segment.
Yes.
And that seems to be evolving very quickly. What has driven that? What is the demand that has driven that evolving nature of digitization, cloud, and so on?
So basically, you cannot take advantage of the space assets without the ground. So number one, if the space assets do innovate and do change, the ground needs to innovate and change. You cannot have hundreds of thousands of teleports, hundreds of thousands of hubs, or big infrastructure. You need to softwareize, you need the cloud, you need ways to make more efficient the different business models. And cloud enabled that, and the utilization of signals enabled that, more distribution, more automation, more AI driven. So we see how the cloud can enable to deliver faster. The cloud can enable to bridge logistical problems. The cloud can enable a huge amount of capabilities that were not before, as well as flexible ground can enable new business models too. So it's about adapting, and the quicker you do, the less risk and fear you should feel.
Now, Integrasys, you've been in the market a long time. You've carved a niche for yourself in the market.
So first you have all
How?
So many times I say that is asking customers, what is your problem? So their problem now is disruption. So how do we adapt to that and the speed of doing so? If we have a lot of the speed and new capabilities so we can solve their threats and their problems rapidly, then they are successful, so we are successful. And this way we encounter and solve those together. So that's the agility, and that's bringing new solutions to new problems rapidly. So now we have more than 25 products that solve customer needs. And if they don't need one, they would need the other or the other. So we're being successful thanks to making our customers successful.
Now, you mentioned you're solving customers' problems.
Yes.
Looking forward, what are the challenges on the horizon?
Well, the challenges that they are facing today are Starlink disruption. So many of them are adopting them, but also managing many type of networks. So what we are bringing is a really nice management of multi-orbit, multi-vendor. So they are able to manage their current assets plus the new assets plus the coming assets in a very intuitive manner and unified, as well as giving the customers power to manage and visualize and understand those disruptions that otherwise they cannot understand. So it's about that. So in the future, most probably they will be seeing more disruption in data and being able to also allocate new business to new business models that are being created because of the price point, as well as the adoption and marketing that the industry is having.
Alvaro, thank you for talking to me.
Oh, my pleasure, Richard.